I'm Clayton Neville, joined by Raul Machuca, Chief Marketing Officer for Cars for Kids. Raul, first of all, thanks for taking time to talk to us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate that.
So we're going to get into Cars for Kids, what it is that you guys do, and a whole bunch over the next 20 minutes or so here. So give us an introduction into what Cars for Kids with a C is.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a charity. It's been around since 1992. Our mission is to provide kids with a second chance or give them an opportunity to build a better future. We actually focus on underserved youth within the community. Our biggest headquarters here in Dallas, Texas, right? We help kids that have not been able to succeed in the traditional high school setting, and our biggest benefactor are the Khan Academies. They focus on dropout recovery and prevention. So the car donation program allows us to really help fund the programs that go into helping these kids and providing these resources for them to be successful. We have the donation program that takes on unused or unwanted vehicles or a car that's been in your driveway or your garage for a very long time, and we auction them off, and the proceeds go directly to these programs that help kids in the community.
Right, so these aren't cars necessarily going to kids that some people might think when they hear that. This is money from donated cars going to help children.
That's right. That's one of the biggest misconceptions that we get, right? People think, well, maybe it's not a good idea to give a vehicle to these kids. It's funny. I had a story where my middle schooler was listening about one of our ads, and he goes, "Hey, Dad, why are you giving these kids cars? Like, how old are they?" I said, "No, it's funny you say that because people think we do." Well, what happens is we pick up the vehicle. Towing is always free, by the way, and it goes through one of our auctions. We have an auction house here in South Dallas on Camp Wisdom in 67. We auction the vehicle off. The auction's open to the public. The proceeds from there, 100% of the net proceeds go directly to these programs, and the programs are the ones that are benefiting the kids directly.
And I don't know if this is a top marketing point, but if you guys are towing the cars and some of these cars are very old, it could almost benefit the donator too, right?
Absolutely, right? So if you've had this car that's been an eyesore, maybe the HOA's after you because it's been sitting there in bricks for a long time, or maybe you had this project car that you had this vision for, and maybe you haven't been able to finish it, and the wife's going, when is this going to be done? What's next? And well, we get there and we pick it up for free, and it helps you kind of clear up the space and get something done. But the most beautiful part about it is you are also making a difference in the lives of kids who need it most, right? We just came out of COVID, and some people have been able to, come out of there, really well. But there's a lot of kids who have not had the opportunity to really overcome the challenges that COVID brought, right? So we're using these funds to help these kids who have struggled amidst all these obstacles with these donations.
We're with Raul Machuca, Chief Marketing Officer with Cars for Kids. Now, Raul, I want to talk about how to donate and some of the specifics there. But before we do that, this has proved successful here in the Metroplex. Tell us some success stories. A lot of people are saying, okay, donating cars for kids, I wonder how much success they actually have. Well, a lot is the answer.
Yeah, so the biggest benefactor here are the Khan Academies. They've been able to make an impact in over 180,000 kids in Texas. So there's thousands of kids who have been able to receive some of the benefits of the donation program. I mean, like I mentioned, we've been around since 1992. The schools have been around for a little bit longer than that, right? And the car donation program started within these schools, right, to help support the programs. And we have seen that because we're giving these kids these opportunities that they didn't have before, right? We've had discussion with some of these students where we're asking them, like, how do you feel about having the second chance? And we've received responses like, second chance, this is the first opportunity I've ever had to be successful, right? And those kind of stories really help us continue to drive the mission forward. We have truly invested in the lives of these kids to where we now are hiring some of these students to help us in the mechanics bays, in the auction program, in the call center. So we've hired one of our, best employees. His name is DK. He's been with us for about 2 years now, and he's going to graduate at the end of this year. And he tells people all the time, I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't because of the opportunities given to me because of the program.
So the impact extends well beyond monetary value. Absolutely. And, a lot of people think, okay, well, they're going to get this. We gave them $1,000 car, so they're going to get $1,000 worth of benefits. Well, it could go a lot more than that when it comes to things like inspiration, these kids feeling like somebody cares, and that goes a long way.
How do you put a price on a success story, right? You now have an individual who was possibly destined for hardship, or one of the biggest challenges that we see is a lot of these kids are going to these schools, and if they weren't a part of these programs, their next option is incarceration, right? And so we have been working diligently to break this generational cycle of poverty that's keeping these kids kind of in this rut, right? They've been stuck, and now because of these opportunities, these programs, these resources, we're seeing a lot of success, right? These kids would have been written off by the community and society, but now are becoming productive contributors of society, taxpayers. The schools are now providing post-graduation resources like vocational training. They have college applications and scholarships, but a lot of these kids, maybe college is not something that's an option for them, right? Maybe a certification of some sort, HVAC, forklift, plumbing, electrician certifications, because they're really interested in entering the workforce directly after graduation.
Right. So now we know the success stories. We know what Cars for Kids is. So I want to jump into the donation process. We're with Raul Machuca, Chief Marketing Officer for Cars for Kids and WBAP. But first, we do want to give a notice out here. We want to make sure that you're donating to the correct Cars for Kids. It's Cars for Kids with a C.
Right. It's carsforkids.org, right? It's Cars for Kids with a C.org. There's a lot of imitators, and there's a lot of other charitable organizations that perhaps may look like Cars for Kids, but we really take pride in how transparent and how ethical we run our donation program. You can see that in our 990, which is all available publicly on our website, and you can see just how we run our charity, where you are fully aware of how we're using your donation to truly impact the lives of these kids. So donation process is fairly simple, right? As a charity, we want to make sure that you have a pleasant experience as you're donating this vehicle. You simply call the numbers 972-274-5437, or you go to the website carsforkids.org. You fill out a form, or one of our donation specialists will give you a call or answer the call, and they'll walk you through the process. You give us the time that we'll pick up the vehicle. It's at a time that's convenient for you. We're not going to inconvenience you. You're helping us help these kids, right? We want to make it as streamlined and as easy as possible. We pick up the vehicle, it goes to our auction, right? And because of your generosity, we give you a $50 Visa gift card, just as a thank you, as a gesture of just your work in allowing us to make a difference, and you get the maximum tax deduction for that donation.
And what about the local aspect of this? Because, some people will think, well, this is going to take forever. It's some national place out of New York. They've got to call somebody. That's not the case. This is local.
That's correct. Yes, we're here in DFW. We're impacting the lives of kids here in your neighborhood, in our backyard. It's not going to some place remote and where you don't see exactly how you make a difference. Like, we have the kids here, and we make sure that your donation stays here as well.
We're speaking with Raul Machuca, Chief Marketing Officer for Cars for Kids here on WBAP. I want to jump into the auction process because it sounds like that's kind of a fun deal.
It is. That's one of our deals. We have 3 auctions every month. we're open to the public. So we're one of the few auctions in Texas that allows anybody with a government issued ID to come and participate in the auction. It's all done fully online. So you can do this from the comfort of your home. And it's on a Saturday, right? So who wants to get up early to go to a dealership or to go to an auction on a Saturday morning? You can do this from home. And the great thing is that there are a lot of great vehicles that go up for auction every week. This could be a car that's great for a first-time driver. Maybe a loved one's going off to college and you want to get them that first car. Maybe it's a project car. Just recently we had some classics in there. We had a 1985 Porsche 944 and a Datsun 280. I don't know if you're a car guy, but those are some great vehicles,
they are,
right?
yeah.
And they went for incredibly low prices, right? So anybody can come and participate, and you get some from classics all the way down to Bentleys. We've had a Bentley before, and we've had a Rolls-Royce limousine before. So it really is something for everyone, right? And the bidders set the price, so you know what your limit is, and you place your bid, and you pay, and you drive home.
So maybe some unintended benefits there for people in the community who are looking for a cheap car as well. And we know what the mission here is, to help kids, but you're also helping other members of the community find affordable vehicles. I guess that's part of the business too, right?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of what we do, right? You have different audiences, you have different people being involved. You can make a difference by donating a vehicle, but you're also making a difference by purchasing a vehicle, right? It's kind of a win-win for everyone, right? So you're making a difference, you're changing lives, you're getting a tax deduction, right? So it helps you in that way, but you can also get an affordable vehicle. We have people that have started their car selling business because of that, right? So we're stimulating the economy in multiple ways.
So if you want to go to one of these auctions, is there one place that has like when they are, where they are, and what vehicles are going to be up for auction?
Yeah, so carsforkids.org is the site. We have everything there. We have the donation services there, also the auction information that takes place. You can make an account, you can log in, and you can look at the vehicles the Thursday and Friday before the auction. So there's another thing that, I wanted to mention. If you are also in the business of selling your vehicle, we have a consignment program too. We take the hassle out of selling your car. You bring it to us, you bring the title, you set the price, we run it through the auction, and we'll sell your car for you. You don't have to deal with people kicking tires or having people come into your house that you don't know. We just make it easy for you as well.
And that ties into the charitable part of it as well.
That's right. That's right. That
allows people to give money, maybe even unintentionally, to kids, but it's still helping kids right here in North Texas. We're with Raul Machuca this morning. We're with Raul Machuca with Cars for Kids, Chief Marketing Officer. So, Raul, let's talk about the process between the auction and this money actually benefiting children. After the auction happens, what's the process from there as far as actually benefiting these children?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have the auction, right? We sell the vehicles. Once we finish the whole auction process, we select the benefactors that will be receiving the funding, right? So the biggest one being here in Dallas-Fort Worth is the Khan Academies. And they provide a long list of resources for these students. Our fundraising helps pay for mental health services. Mental health has been a very hot topic within our youth very recently, and thank goodness for that. We're providing resources that give them access to mental health services absolutely free of cost to these kids. We provide housing resources for them. We give them food or basic necessities, right? Alongside all of these education programs that helps them become these successful individuals academically and ultimately become economically independent, right? And that's really what we want. But we also help with dental and medical expenses. We really look at how we're able to help the whole child rather than just one thing.
Yeah, well, we made it pretty easy for those who are wanting to donate to contact Cars for Kids. What about those who are inquiring about actually being a recipient? Is contacting the Khan Academies the best way to do that?
So what you can do is if you have somebody who is struggling in school or high school, they can contact the Khan Academies and they can be a part of that program. We're working right now to really expand what we do here within the community and looking for ways that we can give back that goes beyond just the education sector. But we have been exploring charities, and there's a potential for us to be able to do a grant process in the future. And we're really looking forward to doing that because really we're in the business of helping kids, and we're going to do everything possible to be able to achieve that in multiple different platforms.
And I want to go over the mission and ways to jump on the website again here in just a second. But I thought it was really neat when you were talking about some of the cars. What are some of the coolest cars that you've seen come through these auctions?
Well, I'm glad you asked. We're actually going to have this really neat Volkswagen bus coming in here in the next few weeks. And what's really interesting is it never ceases to amaze me the type of vehicles that we run into and the kind of vehicles that people donate. I think one of the most impressive vehicles that we saw was this Rolls-Royce limousine that somebody donated, and we were kind of puzzled and saying, like, why would somebody donate, a vehicle like this, right? And so we looked into it, and it really was this limo had a bad fuel pump. And we were able to address the fuel pump, and we were able to auction a vehicle. I mean, it was a beautiful vehicle. It really was. And we get all these different kinds of cars. We've had lawnmowers been donated, like the ride-along lawnmowers. I mean, so we have just a variety of things. We have boats, RVs. We had a semi-truck donated. So, I mean, it's just really a large variety of cars, and the inventory changes every week. So you can go to carsforkids.org, you can go to the auction tab, you can look at the vehicles up for sale, and you can set up a proxy bid right before the auction, set up your maximum bid, or you can go on there on Saturday from 9 until 2 and bid live online.
I bet you guys get some car enthusiasts to go to those auctions too. Not people just worried about helping kids, probably a little bit of both, but people who are, what do they have today?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have individual buyers, we have dealers that come in, we have car collectors. I mean, it just really depends on what the inventory calls for. But, I really encourage people, even if you're not in the market to buy a vehicle today, get in there, log in. You don't have to, commit to purchasing a vehicle, right? You just look and watch. We also live stream the auction on our Facebook channel. So you can log into our Facebook at Cars for Kids with a C, and you can see the auction there from the comfort of your home.
Again, it's Cars for Kids with a C. Raul Machuca, Chief Marketing Officer, is with us. So, Raul, for those just tuning in, though, I don't want them to miss this. Let's recap the mission of Cars for Kids.
Of course. We exist to really help give kids a second chance, right? Give them an opportunity to build a better future. These are kids who maybe have faced some hardships and some challenges that have kept them from being successful. We provide these resources through these car donations and facilitate the success story of these kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is all done through the auctions with the vehicles. And again, the website and what we can find there.
Yes, carsforkids.org. That's CARS for kids.org.
And Cars for Kids has quite the success story as well. You guys have quite a track record as far as actually getting this help to local children and local kids benefiting from it. I believe you told a story a few minutes ago about somebody who was actually a beneficiary and now works with you guys.
Yeah, so DK is a student at the Khan Academies, and he had some challenges that kept him from being able to obtain or earn his high school diploma. Found the schools, and we really saw that this kid was really passionate about what he was doing and overcoming these challenges. And so we actually had a conversation with him about being able to be a part of Cars for Kids as an employee. And he's been one of our, star employees for the last year. He's been Employee of the Month multiple times. He's an extremely responsible, really, really great guy. DK is somebody that we take pride into. We've had multiple interviews with DK on television and on radio because his story really, truly reflects the work that we do for kids.
And the fact that you guys are in such a large area here in North Texas, you guys try as hard as you can to keep up with these success stories, but I'm sure there's a lot of things that even we and even you guys don't know about as far as how this program has impacted kids.
Of course, we know the work is needed, and we do it because we know this, and there's so many stories out there. We also know that there's still thousands of kids that still need more assistance. This is why donating your vehicle is so important, because that truly is what gives these kids the key, and it truly reignites the hope in these kids who've lost it. So your donation is so critical for us to continue to drive this forward, be able to provide these resources. And the more donations that we get, then the more kids whose lives could be changed.
Raul Machuca joining us with Cars for Kids here on WBAP. Okay, so when's the next auction? For those that are anxious, they're hearing this and they're thinking, all right, we got to do something. We either got to get a cool car or we got to donate to help kids. How do they do that next?
Yeah, so we have our auction dates are on our website. You go to carsforkids.org. There's an auction tab right there. You can look at when the next auction will be. We have 3 of them every month. You can log in on any one of those weekends. You can look at the vehicles the Friday before the auction and see if anything piques your interest. And you can go back and look on the live stream to see, well, how much did that sell for? Maybe the next time that you see a vehicle like the one you're in the market for, maybe you feel empowered or encouraged to go and bid for it. So you can check it there anytime.
Yeah. All right. Jump on that website. That's Cars for Kids. Now, before we go, those that have been tuning in, I've been wondering this whole time, really, just how much has been raised. And we don't have to give a specific number here, but you guys have been helping for how long here in the Metroplex?
So again, we're founded in 1992, and I do have this number, which I think is really something that we take pride in.
Yeah.
Within this last year, we donated over $3.2 million to the Khan Academies, right? These are the schools that are helping these kids directly here in Texas, right? These are kids who would otherwise be on the streets, right, if they didn't have this opportunity. So we truly take pride in that. This is all possible because of donors and supporters who truly believe in what we do. And that truly speaks to our honesty and transparency. We recently received a great nonprofit seal of approval. We're highly platinum rated with Candid on nonprofits.org. So we truly are running this organization to benefit kids entirely, and doing so ethically, transparently, and honestly.
And I think it's important to note again that $3+ million is the monetary value. It has nothing to do with the long-term effects or positive impact on some of these kids.
Right. So, these are transformed lives, truly transformed lives. Like, the difference between an employee that comes in with a high school diploma or certification versus somebody who doesn't, right? And so we know that because they were able to access these resources and they received that opportunity to build a better future for themselves and their families, they're going to be better long term.
Earl, we've been talking for about half an hour now about Cars for Kids. Is there anything that you'd like to add? It's really a neat deal.
Yeah, I really, truly want to encourage everybody to be a part of this mission. It is a worthy mission. Kids really need these resources. So donate your car, your motorcycle. We take boats, we take trailers, RVs. We give us a call or go to carsforkids.org. Towing is free. So we make this as easy as possible for you. If you mention that you heard about us here, you'll receive a $50 Visa gift card just as a thank you. That's us saying thank you for helping us help these kids. And you will feel better for it. You'll go in knowing that this went for a good cause.
Carsforkids.org. And again, if you'd like that $50 gift card or just to find out more information, the phone number for us again, if
yes,
you can.
972-274-5437. Carsforkids.org, Cars for Kids with a C. You can find us there. One of our donation specialists will be happy to answer any questions. We take care of all the paperwork, and I think I forgot to mention that. So you really just, if you can't find the title, we'll give you the instructions of how to get a duplicate title. We have a titles department that will walk you through the whole process. Again, we want to make this as easy as possible. We want to help you, help us help these kids.
Yeah, and that's the gist of it, is you guys are going to help. But when it comes to taxes, when it comes to documents and records and all of that, there's really nothing to stress about because you guys have that part of it handled. You understand that in a lot of these cases, it's not like going to buy a new car at the dealership. So you guys are there to help.
Right. We're here to make it just as easy as possible. You receive the tax receipt. We make sure that you receive the highest possible tax deduction allowable by the IRS. You get that in the email or in the mail, however you decide you want to get that, and we're all better for it.
Great. Absolutely. Really a neat deal. Raul Machuca with Cars for Kids. We appreciate you joining us on WBAP.
Thank you so much for having me.